In this video, I want to do something a little bit different and talking about pressures that you can give on the offense. Didn't want to do kind of your standard ones that everybody's talked about. I want to show something that we have done this year that has given us a lot of success and something that you can kind of experiment with. The kids enjoyed it, something different, and thought it'd be a great topic for this video. So we're going to look at here. We have a 2x2 double set. We're in our 34 to the field, so an over front. We have our mic tucked in right here. So what this pressure is we call it stem. So the idea is that your front four or your front three, the front really doesn't matter, but you have some movement across, and the offensive line is not really sure where the shade is because of that kind of movement, and we give our kids kind of that freedom. If they can kind of rock back and forth, they can kind of walk in, walk out, go to an outside to an inside, and then from wherever the ball snaps, we get to whatever front we called. So here we called 34, which is our over front. So even if he gets inside shade, he's got to fight outside. Even if he's outside, he's won't come through again. Depending on what shade he's in, he's going to fight. So you should get some type of movement, but it really gets back to your normal formation that you called. The Mike can walk up and mug it. Great against pass situations where you see an offensive line check to man across the board, and then you can either have him jump out or enter pass rush right away, or jump out and then secondary pass rush. And a lot of times we see that helps us get one-on-ones across the board, even when we don't send five. And somebody's probably going to win when we stress, getting off the ball and having speed. So this isn't something that has to be a four-man. You can use different fronts and formations to do this out of. And a lot of, like I said, we give kids a lot of freedom to move around. And we do the same thing with our backers too. We allow them to walk down and back up, walk in, apex it out, come down again. We just give them a lot of freedom, and we tell them, if you get to a situation where you get to somewhere where you can't get to where you're supposed to be, then that's a spot you don't play from anymore. So again, it's just getting them reps in practice to see where can they still make plays from, and it just helps kind of change things up, not have that static look every time. So here, we have our 34 to the field, except for the mic is tucked back weak side. Just kind of a different change in front, but same thing. He's going to walk up, and we might, still get man across the board, but we could get a 3-on-2 situation here if we spike him in the backside. And you'll see some of that on film a little bit later. You can do it again out of a 3-man front as well. Have both backers walk up, both of them jump back, both of them go, one of them go. A lot of combinations that you can do. You can band at the ends and have him jump outside. I mean, just whatever pressures and whatever blitzes that you have, you can still do those, but from this what we call stem look. So again, front, you can do all of your your stunts out of it. Here we have 34 with a twist. So Mike's tucked backside. He walks up. Everybody's mugging. We don't know which gap we're going into, and then we pull the twist here and stay outside. And what's good about this too is that a lot of times you don't have to change the coverage behind, so it's not something that requires a lot of thinking in the back end too. You can again also bring your outside backers in on it as well, and you can even play a little bit around with some kind of fire zone in a way where we have kind of our raider call where we walk him up, but walk both of them up. He jumps back into his hole and takes his man. So just kind of a switch up on the zone and who's going. Just a lot of different ways that you can accomplish the same thing. So now we're going to look at a little bit of video so you can see how it actually looks live. This clip is a great example of a 5-man pressure that we do. You're going to see that out of this 4-man front, you're going to see a lot of movement pre-snap, everybody standing up, kind of moving side to side. You don't really know which gap people are taking. You're going to see the offense check back with the OC to see do they need to make a change. And it looks like everybody's going to come, but what you're going to see is the Mike walk up. He's going to bounce back, and then outside backer is going to come, and that's going to give a good 3-on-2 up top. And you're going to see this tackle decides late to take the dog, lets the end that's coming under completely free because he's thinking his guard's going to help him, but doesn't because we get a good pressure out of the tackle here. So I'll let this play. Just a great example of what a good pressure would look like. You can see everybody's moving around. They're not sure what our front's going to end up being in. And then right before the snap, the mic jumps back, and then comes the dog off the edge, and he gets picked up, but the end is completely free. One more time. Trying to make a change at the line. Deciding where we're bringing pressure from. Tackle picks up the dog, leaves the end completely free. So again, just a great 5-man pressure. Don't have to change anything behind. And again, just can look multiple from the same front. In this clip, you actually see a 6-man pressure, but out of our 3-4 front. So you're going to see the mic walk up. Both mics actually going to walk up, hug the line, so the outside backers. But what you're going to get is the 3 down linemen going. You're going to get both outside backers plus your other backer, and then the mic drops out, kind of the low hole, secondary pass rush. And again, you're going to see a 3-on-2 up top, and obviously, somebody's coming free. So I'm going to play this here. Out of a pistol look, we catch him in a play action situation. We don't, we lose leverage a little bit, and obviously, the pressure worked, but I don't like up top where we get chopped. We should have played with our hands there. If we maintain on our feet, good pressure underneath here, pulls them out the pocket, we're on the hip a lot easier there, and we don't get a throwaway. We can get some, tackle for a loss there. And this clip is actually just a 4-man pressure. Won't get anything from the linebackers, but what we do get is the mic walking up, gives the alert, and what we actually get are man blocks across the board with the center not really taking anybody. It gives us, when we're one-on-one, we like that chance with our D line, especially in 3rd and long passing situation. So this is our normal base front right here. Mike walks up, mugs a gap. Center thinking he's got to take a man-on-man. Center never end up taking anybody, so we get one-on-one matchups across the board. Obviously, we don't get enough pressure here, but we do push the throw a little bit high, and a great job by the wheel on the backside covering that inside seam right there. This clip is a 5-man pressure. We leave out the outside backers, and we actually send the mic here. This video is more about kind of the negative that you can get out of this front right here. Because we're so high off the bat, if we don't get good leverage, we can easily get pushed off the ball. So even though they're high, they've really got to maintain that pad level so we're not getting pushed off the ball. And that's probably one of the negative things about this front, the teaching point for your D linemen and your backers. Pad level down so we don't get shoved off the ball. You can see across the board we're pretty high and just get pushed out. This last clip here is a 5-man pressure, except for we're kind of stemming with the DN and the mic, and we're kind of down with these 2 guys. So not a full stem across the whole front, but what we end up getting here is the mic walking up. He steps back and then proceeds to secondary pass rush, and it gives us just a split second for this guard to think that he's got to help with this, this D end out here on a vertical push, and it opens up that lane where he's taking the 1 here, so it runs him through here. Doesn't get the sack, but it gets enough pressure that we get a high ball and interception on the back end. So you're going to see the end walking up. Here comes the mic. He hops back, but then secondary pass rush, forces the ball just enough to get it pretty high. So, again, you can see here, decision here is obviously we should go man-to-man, but because he steps back, now he looks to help on that side and opens up that lane right there. And thankfully, the running back never really sees him too. He's more concerned with that safety. So just enough did we get the interception there.